There are moments in life where responsibility remains, but control does not, and how you respond in those moments defines everything. Hello, and welcome to the fourth episode of Reclaiming Fatherhood, where we will discuss responsibility without control. Reclaiming fatherhood, restoring strength, reforming systems, protecting the bond, responsibility endures beyond circumstance, where discipline meets advocacy. Let us begin on this vital topic. In conversations around fatherhood, responsibility is often tied to control, time, access, decision-making. But what happens when control is reduced or removed entirely? Does responsibility disappear, or does it become more important? In this episode, we examine what responsibility means when control is limited, why many men collapse under this condition, and how leadership is defined, not by control, but by consistency. The illusion of control. Control is often mistaken for stability. When you control outcomes, you feel secure. But control is never absolute. It shifts, it changes, it can be removed. If your identity as a father is tied only to control, then when control is disrupted, identity collapses with it. That is the risk. So when is control reduced exactly? There are situations where time is limited, decisions are shared or restricted, access is structured externally. In those moments, frustration is natural, but frustration does not remove responsibility. If anything, it makes your presence more intentional. Less time requires more precision. Less control requires more discipline. Now we will discuss the collapse point. Many men struggle here, not because they lack care, but because they equate responsibility with authority. When authority is reduced, they disengage, they withdraw, they become inconsistent. They allow circumstances to dictate identity. But inconsistency is not neutral. It creates instability, and instability affects children. So let's take a step back and redefine responsibility. Responsibility is not defined by how much control you have, how much time you are given, or how favorable circumstances are. Responsibility is defined by consistency, presence within limits, emotional stability, reliability over time. It is not conditional. It does not adjust based on convenience. Leadership without control. Leadership is often associated with authority, but true leadership is tested when authority is limited. Can you remain composed? Can you remain consistent? Can you provide stability even when you cannot control outcomes? That is leadership, not dominance, not control, but disciplined presence. Let us go over what children actually experience. Children do not measure. Legal structure, technical limitations, external constraints they experience, consistency, emotional tone, reliability. If a father remains steady, even within limited control, the child still receives stability. And stability is what matters. So, to summarize, control can change, circumstances can shift, but responsibility does not disappear with either. When control is reduced, discipline must increase, consistency must strengthen, identity must stabilize, because responsibility is not conditional. Reclaiming fatherhood is not about regaining control. It is about maintaining responsibility, even when control is limited, because children do not need perfect conditions. They need consistent presence. In the next discussion, we'll examine how consistency over time, not intensity in moments, shapes long-term outcomes in fatherhood. Reclaiming fatherhood, restoring strength, reforming systems, protecting the bond. Responsibility endures beyond circumstance, where discipline meets advocacy. Reclaiming fatherhood advances strength in men and balance in systems, so that children do not bear the cost of adult conflict. Advancing disciplined fatherhood and balanced reform, so children do not bear the cost of adult conflict. Responsibility endures beyond circumstance. Reclaiming Fatherhood is a disciplined, reform-minded platform dedicated to restoring balance, responsibility, and stability within modern fatherhood through structured analysis, personal reflection, and policy-level insight. Consistency over intensity. Restoring strength, reforming systems, protecting the bond. Responsibility endures beyond circumstance. Thank you, and stay safe.